Hey everyone, today I want to talk about my current makeup bag and the things that are in it to have been loved by me over the last little while, and I'll give you pretty full on reviews about each product. I have been using the Bioderma for years. I've ran through many bottles of this, maybe 20 over the last years. And Bioderma, since CBO in particular, still has been the most suitable to my skin type thus far, and I've tried a lot of micellar waters. Really nothing so far has beat Bioderma out. By quality, by performance, and by accessibility. For me, it's not difficult to buy Bioderma. It's in drugstores everywhere. So next one is this super basic moisturizer by First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer. This one does not have any SPF whatsoever to it. Why am I using it? Is because it's so damn basic. It's really a godsend once you have a skin that is irritated, unhappy, and just complains about the cold, the bitterness of the frost, and just maybe some products that you've been using recently. This is really good basic to have. It's a staple in my collection. I've had some kind or form of Ultra Repair cream by First Aid Beauty. Usually it's just Ultra Repair cream, which I use everywhere, my body, my face, just on my baby I use. So it's a nice basic and it's very gentle. So I do recommend that one. In terms of foundation, I've still been using mostly my Acne Solutions Clinique BB cream. This guy is available in Sephora. You see how mangled up it is? It's really running quite low right now. It's a very liquidy, lightweight SPF 40 base with light coverage. You can build it up to medium in a couple of coats. No, you can't put it down to full coverage even if you bathe in it, I don't think. But it's easy, very liquidy, one of those serum type foundations. There's quite a bit of alcohol in it, so if you're sort of sensitive to alcohol, I do have to warn you about it. It hasn't caused me any trouble personally. And I've discovered that my favorite way to apply it is with one of these cushion foundation sponges. They just do a fantastic job of pressing this guy into the skin. I like it better than the Beauty Blender, and it also eats up less foundation than the Beauty Blender because this guy is so fluid. So I really enjoy this. It creates the same kind of feel as a BB cushion foundation would, but you don't have the cushion in it. You just kind of have some on your hand and then press a puff into it and then go on to apply it to your face. Therefore, I think you do waste a lot less foundation and you get a lot more for your buck in here because you get a full 30 mils here. I think this is a lovely BB cream. I'm kind of getting bored with it at this point, so I'm ready to move on to something else at the moment. In fact, I have been sort of using my Way cushion compact, which gave me the idea of having another cushion to use with this guy. But this one has been really lovely. I've been liking it a lot. This is a matte finish for me in the end. And if I want more luminous, I'll go for the cushion. But I really have been enjoying this guy. I think it's done me a great service so far. In terms of powder, I've been really using this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. This is the yellow shade. It is quite luminous. I found that it looks great under the eyes, and I do apply it with a fluffy brush under the eyes to sort of fix up my concealer, which I'll be mentioning next. However, over my face, I found that I guess I'm into puffs recently, but I found that sort of a puff for powder really applies it quite well. I will press a little bit in here and then just get the sides of my nose and press it into my T-zone. And it gives me a bit of a luminosity, but doesn't take away from the texture. I find that if I use brush with this powder on my skin, it makes the texture of my cheeks look worse. And I don't have much. I have very smooth skin over my cheeks, but it highlights every single pore there is. If I use a puff, it really diminishes the amount of texture that this powder will highlight. Otherwise, it's a lovely powder. It's really nice, but I do think that if you're not careful, it can give you texture on your skin. Even stuff that you don't have, it'll show. somehow. The concealer that I'm using under my eyes is really the Bobbi Brown corrector in Light Bisque. There it is. I've been using this one for years as well. This is, I think, my second or third pan of it, and I'm kind of getting a dip going in here already. I like it a lot. It's super creamy, very good for winter. I don't like using it in the summer. I think it runs a bit too much with sweat, but I think in the winter it functions perfectly. In terms of under eye highlighter, which I occasionally do, I actually had finished my Skin Flash Radiance Booster pen by Dior. This one, the one that I finished, was in number 002. Now, the one that I'm using currently is in number 001, and this one is pink undertoned. The 002 was yellow, and I like this so much better. I even like the texture better somehow, although I'm pretty sure that the texture is comparable. It is an easily blendable pink lightener. And it works so beautifully. It gives you a bit of a glow. It's very natural looking. The pink color is very much more brightening than the yellow that I've used previously. However, I have to say, if you're looking for a budget buy, a very similar thing to this is going to be Maybelline Age Rewind in the brightener shade. And I think I've run through maybe 7 or 8 tubes of that, and it's fantastic. And I think I will buy the Maybelline one next. Although I really enjoy this one, I think it's pretty equivalent in both color and texture to the Maybelline Age Rewind in brightener. So, you know, save your pennies on that one. For face highlighting, I have this guy, which is amazing. I really enjoy it. It's Smashbox highlighter in a stick. Here it is. It's called Hollywood and Highlight, LA Lights, blendable and cheek, lip and cheek stick color. It's really not for lips, I don't think. The color of it is really a highlighter, but it's so damn easy to use. The one in the stick is fantastic. I'll show you how it looks. It's really subtle. There it is. It has some nice shine, but it's not so much in your face, and once you blend it out, it is quite natural. Moreover, the blending part is so easy. Look, done. It's so pretty, and it looks quite natural on the skin. I was very surprised to find that the stick highlighter functions so well on the skin. This is a big like for me, so I do recommend you check out that one. I heard that the Clinique Chubby Stick highlighter does about the same thing, but I can't confirm because I haven't actually used that one yet. I just tested it in Sephora. This one, however, I've been putting to use for a while, and I've been really liking it. Field of Florals Convertible Color Lip and Cheek Palette. This one came out maybe a year ago, and I've been really putting my finger to use in here. You have such a nice spread of colors. You can do whatever you want with these, and I've used it a ton. I'm really happy I've gotten this product, and I've tested out quite a few shades. The idea was, this is by the way a nice, very nice packaging. You have a huge nice mirror, and it's magnetized, very substantial. The idea of this for me was that I test out a whole bunch of colors. I find colors I like and I get them, because previously I did have Lilium in a full pan and I finished it up completely. I really like the consistency of these, and the amount of colors they have is just fantastic. I think really if you are after a formula that is cream formula in a blush, I think Stila's ones, the convertible lip and cheek ones, are the way to go. They're such nice consistency, especially for dry skin. They're so beautiful, and they last pretty well. They blend up like a dream. I don't wear them on my lips. I think they're drying for the lips, but for the cheeks, they're the bomb. So I do recommend you check out these. In terms of bronzer, I have two, one powder and one cream bronzer. Cream bronzer is no surprise, of course, Soleil Tendre de Chanel by Chanel. I've really gotten quite a good use out of it. I'm finishing it up now. It smells like roses, doesn't give you an orange tint on skin, blends out beautifully, holds up pretty well. This one is a really good product. Moreover, you get 30 grams of it in here. It's a huge amount, and if you're fair, that will be really wonderful. However, they don't really make any other shades, so if you're not fair to sort of medium, you're out of luck and this is not going to work for you, which is unfortunate. I think Chanel should get on that and fix their shade range. which consists of one color. This is not a range, people. This is one color. But luckily for me, this color works, and I really enjoy the effects that I get with this product. And the second bronzer that I have to mention is this MAC from the Aquatics collection. Actually, the packaging is adorable. This is Aphrodite's Shell Extra Dimension Bronzer. And this is also for fair ladies. Really, really easy to wear. You see that I have hit pan on it. I have a bit of product left, so I keep going with it. But the color is so nice. It's on me right now. It's really, really subtle. You can do a very subtle bronze with it. Of course, you don't contour with this sort of a color. It has a slight red undertone, which I really like. I think for a bronzy look, red undertone is what you should go for. If you have skin tone similar to mine, I think that's what looks the most natural in terms of bronzer, but not contour, bronzer. So this one I really like. It seems to, the texture is really kind of gel powder, very soft but hard pressed. And the packaging is adorable. In terms of eye primer, I still am using my Lancome Nude color primer. This is their basic primer. I've showed it to you before. It's very easy to use. You can see that I'm really sort of close to finishing it fairly soon. It's very good quality primer. I don't know how it will function on very oily lids. Mine are not very oily, but it's been with me for many months. I really have been enjoying it. It's performed wonderfully. It sort of blanks out the canvas of your eyelids. Moreover, it does hold my shadow pretty true to color. Very few shadows crease on it. Some do, but very few. And it holds my shadows all day, most of the time at the end of the day, depending on the eyeshadow I use, but mostly when I come home, it's intact, completely intact. And next we have something for the brows. I have to start with my holy grail. This is MAC Omega. I've actually finished my Dior Show brow styling pencil. I have another one as a backup, so I will use that eventually. I've finished many of these Dior pencils, so probably I'll go back to it. This one, however, has been with me for years and years. Not this particular pan, obviously, but this shadow. I've kept repurchasing it. As you can see, this one is about, it has a bit of a dip and some pan showing. This is really a staple in my collection. I have used it for years and years. After using the powder to fill in my brows, I do use this gel for brows from Bourjois to set my brows. Actually, I'm not going to go into detail of this one. It's not horrible, but it's really not good. Nondescript. I don't recommend this one. It could be blank out any gel here. It doesn't matter that it's this one. There's nothing special about it. Don't bother about it. The shadows that I've been using recently is this tiny Smashbox set in the color in a Screenshot trio. You see here the colors are Nectar, Cinnamon Toast, and Roast. Smashbox are actually some of my favorite shadows. They're really great quality, but only their Photo Op line. The rest of them, Photo Op shadows are top-notch quality, really lovely. Creamy, nicely pigmented, stay, don't flake. Everything good about the shadow is in these Photo Op ones. This is a tiny mini with which I like to travel and which is actually really easy to use. So this is a bit of a light peach color. Here we have a sandy gold and here we have sparkly brown. Such an easy trio, just forget about it. It goes with everything. It's really great quality. I wish Smashbox just gave up doing any other shadows and just focused on their Photo Op line. It's as good as Urban Decay. I swear it really is. They should just abandon their other attempts and stick with that formula because that formula is bomb. The eyeliner I've been using recently is this NARS Night Series eyeliner in Night Clubbing. It's a nice black with a bit of a sparkle, but mostly really black. It's a twist up. I have to say this is not my favorite pencil. This is the color. It's sort of has gold sparkle in it and a bit of a dark green undertone perhaps. I enjoy this pencil. I think it's good. I like the NARS pencils. I've used them previously, but it doesn't beat my favorite, which is the Marc Jacobs really skinny one. That one is really, really great. I will be repurchasing that one once I run through a few of my sort of minis and pencils that I've put on backup or whatever, the ones that I happen to have at the moment. I've run through a few and I'll run through a few more, and then I'll allow myself to get the Marc Jacobs one, which is really, really my favorite. In terms of eyelashes, I have two. High maintenance this time around. I have my Chanel, Le Volume de Chanel in black. So everybody knows this mascara. It's very popular. I understand why. It's not my favorite mascara though. It has this fat brush. Really, the plus of this mascara is the fact that it can give you big lashes in one coat, which never really happens with any other mascara. This one is not so separating. It's a bit clumpy, which is not my favorite feature, but I love it for the convenience. I've used up a few tubes of this one previously just because it's just so easy, you know, right away you open it and you can just do one coat and go. It is fantastic. If you're not, if you're a fan of really like fluffy and separated lashes, this might not be your shtick. But if you like the big volume, the big impact lashes, this absolutely does the trick. It is really lovely in terms of volumizing. No wonder it's called Le Volume de Chanel. And the second one is from my recent Korean haul. It's Top Professional Exotic Super Slim Mascara. Here you go. And this one I bought because of this wonderful, wonderful tiny little skinny wand, which really does well on the bottom lashes. It does magic on the bottom lashes. It has some fibers, it's not clumpy, brushes right through them, doesn't flake. Such a good bottom lash mascara. I think it's my new favorite. I enjoy it much more than the Clinique one, the bottom lash mascara. Weirdly, because that used to be my favorite. And finally, in terms of moisturization and lip balming, you know, all of us do over the winter because it gets so freaking frosty and dry most places in the Northern Hemisphere. But this is one of my favorites. I've spoken about this before. It's Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. And I just want to give this a shout out because it's so good. So far I haven't been in bad enough shape to enlist help of my Nuxe Rive de Mai lip balm, which is my absolute savior during winter. It's the holy grail that I go to when all else fails. But so far, Elizabeth Arden's 8-Hour Cream has been able to keep my lips hydrated enough and the frost at bay. You see how much I've used of it. It's really like a holy grail product. I've used it for years, multiple tubes of it. It's one of the first times I've had a jar. I prefer the tubes, by the way. If you see the tube, you take it and run. This is the original formula. They come also in fragrance free. I do recommend this for cuticles, for lips, for any dry patches. This works like a charm for me, and I've been using it for such a long time. It's really well tested. That's it for today. Have a good day. Bye bye.